let's talk about one of the most confusing topics out there when it comes to our health. Those weird, frustrating reactions we sometimes get after eating. We're gonna untangle this whole thing right now.
You know the feeling, right? You have a meal and pretty soon you're feeling bloated, or you get a headache, or maybe something even worse. And your brain just jumps to one conclusion. That's it, I'm allergic. And you swear off that food for good.
But here's the thing. What if it's not a true allergy at all? The real story here is actually about two totally different things that can happen in your body. And trust me, knowing the difference isn't just a fun fact. It's absolutely crucial for figuring out your symptoms and protecting your health. All right, first up, let's dive into the one everybody talks about, the food allergy. This is all about your body's own defense system getting its wires crossed in a big way. A true food allergy is, plain and simple, an immune system problem. Think of it like your body's own internal security team suddenly mistaking something harmless, like a protein from a peanut or milk, for a dangerous intruder. And what does it do? It launches an all-out attack. So when this happens, your immune system unleashes these special forces called IgE antibodies and floods your body with chemicals like histamine. And this whole process is fast. We're talking minutes to maybe a couple of hours. The scary part? The severity can range from something like mild hives to full-blown anaphylaxis, which is a life-threatening emergency. And get this, even a tiny, microscopic trace of the food can set off this massive chain reaction. Okay, so if that's an allergy, what's on the other side of the coin? Well, now we're going to talk about food intolerance, which is a completely different beast happening in a totally different part of your body. And here it is, the single most important thing to remember. A food intolerance does not involve your immune system at all. Your body isn't launching an attack. It's just, well, it's your digestive system having a really hard time processing something you ate. With an intolerance, the problem is pretty much all happening in your gut. A classic example is being lactose intolerant. You're just missing the lactase enzyme you need to break down milk sugar. The reaction time is also way slower. Symptoms can creep up hours or even a few days later, which, makes it incredibly tricky to pinpoint the culprit. And the symptoms aren't just gas and bloating. We're talking about things like chronic fatigue or that annoying brain fog too. So let's just put it all side by side to make it super clear. An allergy? That's a fast, potentially life-threatening immune system attack, and even a tiny speck of the food can trigger it. An intolerance? That's a much slower, really uncomfortable digestive issue, but it's not life-threatening. And you might even be able to handle a little bit of the food without a problem. See? Two completely different worlds. Now, just when you think you've got it figured out, let's look at how complicated this can get. We're gonna dive into a really fascinating and pretty controversial example that kind of blurs the lines, the whole histamine debate. You've probably heard of histamine intolerance. It sounds confusing, right? Because histamine is that same chemical your body releases during an allergic reaction. But in this case, the story is actually quite different. So the popular theory goes like this. Some people just don't have enough of a specific enzyme called DAO. Now, this enzyme's job is to break down the histamine we get from certain foods. Think aged cheese, red wine, stuff like that. So if you don't have enough DAO, the histamine builds up and causes symptoms that feel a lot like an allergy. Seems pretty straightforward, right? Well, here's the catch. The science just isn't all there yet. This quote really gets to the heart of the debate in the medical community. While tons of people have very real symptoms after eating high histamine foods, the gold standard scientific studies just haven't been able to consistently prove the connection. The results are all over the place. Let's be really clear about this. Nobody is saying the symptoms aren't real. They absolutely are. The debate is about the cause and whether histamine intolerance is actually its own distinct medical condition. This whole thing just goes to show you why we can't jump to conclusions about what's happening in our bodies. So, with all this complexity and all this debate, what in the world are you supposed to do if you think a food is causing you problems? Let's map out the smartest way to move forward. Look, trying to figure this all out on your own is just a recipe for frustration. You could end up cutting out tons of healthy foods for no reason, and you might miss the actual, real cause of your symptoms, which could be something completely different. So here is your game plan step by step. First, you need to become a detective. Start keeping a super detailed diary of everything you eat and any symptoms you feel, and make sure you write down the times for both. Step 2, take all that great data to a professional. A board-certified allergist is the perfect person to see. And finally, step 3, let them guide you. They can help you get a proper diagnosis through professional testing, whatever that may be.
At the end of the day, your body is sending you signals. The real challenge isn't just listening to them, it's learning how to interpret them correctly. By understanding this fundamental difference between an allergy and an intolerance, you can finally stop guessing and start getting some real answers.